Hello and welcome to or back to my YouTube channel and or podcast. Just a few more quick updates. I am still working on gathering the information for the step-by-step instructions on reporting cyber crimes and that sort of thing. So working on that. And I did decide that I wanted to go on ahead and reread Rose McGowan's autobiography, Brave, before I finished the video on her. I have a little bit of information that I've gathered, a little bit of research, reading some of her recent interviews and articles and watching some YouTube clips on her. But I think I really, really want to reread her book because it's been about 4 or 5 months since I read it. So just a little refresher because she had a lot of good information, a lot of good quotes in there and words of wisdom. So anyway, getting back to what's currently going on right now. Yeah, continuing to just deal with this whole thing. Man, sometimes you really just don't understand why stuff happens, but those of us who are spiritual just have to believe everything happens for a reason, and everything can be a learning experience. And I'm definitely learning lots of things from this experience, especially patience. Patience with others, patience with the whole investigation, legal process aspect of all this, just patience all the way around. Patience to other people who have been victims of cyber crimes as well, and just respecting how they're choosing to deal with what's going on with them, and patience towards the people who are guilty of committing them against us. There's not really a handbook on how to deal with having cyber crimes committed against you. There's like a few tutorials out there, and hence why this is such a passion for me. But the emotional aspect of it, it's like it's bad enough when it's done by completely anonymous people that you don't know, but when you have a pretty good idea, different story. And again, there's so much I wish I could say right now, but better safe than sorry. So trust, you will get details definitely in season 2. So lots of good updates and developments. But yeah, just really quickly wanted to share something because this isn't just about helping other people, it's about helping myself. It's been a pretty traumatic experience. Like, I know there's worse things going on in the world right now, but, in the grand scheme of things, but still, this isn't a walk in the park. It isn't fun, and no one should have to go through this. And so, I would have to say, one of my top 5, if not top 3 pet peeves is being lied on. Like, just for some reason, being lied on just gets under my skin and gets to me like nothing else. And I know most people don't appreciate being lied on, but some people kind of have like a little bit more of a kind of que sera attitude about it. It is what it is. But me, it just really, for some reason, it's something that just stirs anger, and I don't really consider myself an angry person. So when I get angry, I really gotta check myself. It's shocking for me. So on top of all the other emotions I have to deal with. But basically, have another correspondence from another former member of this community. And I'm gonna stop calling it a community eventually because, you look up the definition of community and this ain't it. But anyway. And I know that I said that I was done with screenshots from anybody that has anything to do with the community. However, these aren't from a fellow former community member. these are from a member of the moderating team. So technically, it's not a screenshot from a correspondence that was had with me. So, yeah. And if I ever do that again, I will make sure that all names and images and any kind of privacy is not compromised, because I don't want to be just as bad as the other people compromising people's privacy that are doing this to us, So definitely the point was proven. And I'm not going to say I regret sharing them, because they're going to be very instrumental in the investigation process of all of this. However, I do regret if I caused anybody any kind of anxiety along the same lines of the people who are committing these cybercrimes against us. That was not my intent at all. And I think I was so shocked and so hurt myself that I definitely reacted hastily and was just dealing with the situation the best way I saw fit. So yeah, no longer going to ever do that without asking anyone's permission first. However, again, I have to say, I do not regret taking those screenshots. Definitely they were very instrumental, like I said, in the investigation. However, as far as ever sharing any, again, I will definitely make sure to get permission, even if I do attempt to privatize the person. However, like I said, getting back to this communication, this is from a member of the moderating team. So, like I said, technically it's not a correspondence that was had with me from another community member. And, I have no qualms whatsoever about putting on blast people who have no qualms whatsoever with invading others' privacy. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't do it to another fellow former community member, especially without their permission. But this moderator feels the need to play, mother or teacher or whatever, and chastise another grown-ass adult and tell them what to do or not to do. And on top of that, they're lying. And I don't know whether or not they realize that they may just be regurgitating lies that they've been spoon-fed, or if they realize they're lying. And unfortunately, this was someone that I prior considered a friend. But either way, I can't let that sit. I have to set the record straight. So similar to the humiliation and hierarchy episode, I'm going to just read the correspondence, and then I'm going to break it down and ask my questions. So here we go. Let me put on my Mother Goose glasses here. Prepare my best reading voice. Remember, this is a member of the moderating team reaching out to a former community member. At this time was a community member. This was about a month or so ago. Here we go. Hi. It says it was been, by the way, not it has been. It was been brought to our attention that a conversation between you and a former member of the community who goes by Brown Skinned Beauty / Instant Glam has been shared among other members of the community. From what I understand, it was in regard to her warning you about your Instagram account becoming compromised. We are aware of this person and this situation, and I wanted to give you more backstory and an explanation of the truth. Blank is an ex-mod of the girls. She didn't step down from being a mod. She was let go. She made a lot of mistakes and was given a lot of chances to fix her behavior, but it never happened. She just isolated herself more, so the decision was made to let her go. The girls had completely valid reasons to do so, and did it as gently and respectfully as possible. It is clear now that Blank is angry about the circumstances and reasons of why she was let go, and has decided to retaliate. Shortly after she was let go, an account was found that was clearly run by her. It revolved around narcissists and seemed to be directed at the girls. When she was approached about it, she made claims that she was hacked and then went MIA. Recently, it was discovered that she was feeding lies and making ridiculous claims to Instant Glam / Brown Skin Beauty, who has since run with the information. Together, they are trying to cause friction within the community. They've made wild and false claims that the girls are cult leaders and that their mod team is there to do their bidding and commit illegal acts such as cyberstalking, cyberbullying, and harassment of those who want to leave. They've been spreading the false information that the mods are hacking into community members' accounts, hence the warning you were sent. They created accounts on a forum pretending to be current and former mods to confirm that the blackmail never happened, and that the mods are hacking into community members' accounts. That it was a scam, which is completely untrue. We have found videos of these ridiculous, untrue claims with screenshots of conversations that they have been having. Together, they are reaching out to as many community members as they can, spreading lies and false information to hurt the girls. We highly advise you to block these people, as many other community members already have. The whole team is aware of what is going on, and we are trying to handle this as quietly as possible. All of this is causing stress and hurt to the girls because Blank was a trusted member of the group who chose to be angry and bitter and retaliate against the girls. Any information that you could provide us with will be extremely helpful. Fen. So yeah, that was a mouthful of BS. And again, I'm trying to decide if I think that this person genuinely believes the lies they were fed, or if this person is knowingly lying to the person who shared this with me. I mean, not that it makes much difference, but insane. So, yeah, just a little bit of feedback on it before I actually break it down verbatim and then ask my 20 questions. But if you've been following any of the previous episodes, you can see that this is not an account of what happened. And it's just very interesting the way people can kind of spin things. I think the funniest aspect of it, though, is the fact that it's written in a way where people are shamelessly admitting that they're cyberstalking other people, all the while denying that they're cyberstalking other people. Yeah, so I am one of the JFG mods. It was brought to our attention that a conversation between you and a former member of the community who goes by Brown Skin Beauty, Instant Glam, has been shared among other members of the community. First of all, creepy. How would you feel if someone sent you this DM? Like, really, I would... Yeah, anyway. Shocking. From what I understand, it was in regards to her warning you about your Instagram account becoming compromised. I wasn't warning the person about their account becoming compromised. I was simply sharing with them that mine had, and that I know that other people's had, and just giving them some extra cybersecurity measures for their social media account, such as enabling two-factor authentication, trying a VPN perhaps, sporadically checking to see what devices are logged in under her social media accounts. It wasn't saying, you've been hacked, you've been phished. You've been, there'd be no way for me to know that. But anyway, moving on. We are aware of this person. Oh, I bet you are. In this situation, and I wanted to give you more backstory and explanation of the truth. You mean do damage control, is what you mean. Okay, Blank is an ex-mod of the girls. Duh, everybody knows that. She didn't step down from being a mod. She was let go. The fact that she has specific points that she's addressing, again, I don't know if she was listening to my YouTube videos or podcasts, or if there's just other people who shared it with her. But again, even the fact that she feels the need to reach out to this person, whatever, I guess she's just doing her job. She made a lot of mistakes and was given a lot of chances to fix her behavior, but it never happened. They're not going to go in depth to the unquote mistakes, because I'm sure the mistakes arguably weren't. But anyway, she just isolated herself more, so the decision was made to let her go. If she was isolating herself, I would say that would be an indication of her wanting to leave, but okay. The girls had completely valid reasons to do so and did it as gently as possible. Sure, if you say so. It is clear now that she's angry about the circumstances and reasons of why she was let go and has decided to retaliate. So once again, an account was found. How is this account found? I mean, just wondering, how is it found? Was clearly run by her. How do you know it was clearly run by her? I mean, just wondering, just questions like, is it following all her other people that she's following on her account that you know is hers? Is like the writing similar to how she writes? Again, I'm just wondering how you are so strongly, convinced that it was clearly run by her. It revolved around narcissists and seemed to be direct at the girls. Again, I'm not really following why, just because this account may or may not have been run by her. I'm not saying for sure it wasn't, but even if it was, so the F what? But okay, let's just say, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, it was ran by her. What? And what? Like, we're not allowed to create additional Instagram accounts? A lot of people deal with narcissistic individuals. Lots of people have Instagram accounts, YouTube pages, Tumblrs, blogs, whatever, podcasts, television shows about dealing with narcissistic abuse, and people have, narcissistic tendencies, So yeah, interesting. When she was approached about it, she made claims that she was hacked and then went MIA. Again, I don't even know. That might be true. It might not. This community is batshit crazy. But moving on. Recently, it was discovered that she was feeding lies and making ridiculous claims to Instant Glam / Brown Skin Beauty, who has since run with the information. Okay, this is where my blood starts to boil, and I have to pray, Lord, give me strength. Together, they are trying to cause friction within the community. No, we are not. Once again, if you can recall the humiliation and hierarchy episode, I did not even want to use specific names of other people I was speaking with in the community, people still in the community, people who have left, and moderators' names. I didn't even want to use names because I did not want to, create any kind of friction. I was trying to avoid that, as being as general as possible. I'm not about throwing people under the bus the way some people are. Together, they are trying to cause friction within the community. I read that. They've made wild and false claims that the girls are cult leaders. Clearly, cult is being used, well, it was being used sarcastically. Not so much anymore. And that the mod team is there to do their bidding and commit illegal acts such as cyberstalking, cyberbullying, and harassment of those who want to leave. Wild and false claims. I don't know if you consider people admitting that they've had people who they tried to block from their chat rooms keep reappearing and following them around on other social media, or people admitting that there have been people from their Discords bumped. I don't know if you consider people admitting to being hacked wild and false claims, but okay. They have been spreading the false information that the mods are hacking into community members' accounts, hence the warning you were sent. Again, people just admitting their experience and sharing screenshots and proof. I don't know. And again, I was just warning maybe a handful of people of what was happening to just, help them, give them a heads up to increase their cybersecurity measures. They created accounts on a forum pretending to be current and former mods. This, I have no idea what they're talking about. And I myself never joined any kind of forum. This very, vague forum. The name of the forum isn't named. They don't say Reddit or Core or anything. It just says on a forum. This could be someone else for all I know, because to my knowledge, the former mod being mentioned never did that, and I certainly didn't do that. I have a podcast and a YouTube channel, but never ever claimed to be a former mod, so maybe they have other people trying to wreak havoc, any more havoc than it's already being wreaked. Let's see. Confirm that the blackmail never happened and that it was a scam, which is completely untrue. I admitted that there is a chance that the person who they claim was the blackmailer slash doxer could be lying and not telling the truth. Only God knows 100% the truth. I just know that her story corroborates with other people's stories who have been telling the truth, and that these people, former cult leaders and moderators, are the ones that have a proven history of not being very honest. We have found videos of these ridiculous, untrue claims. Really, I'd like to see them with screenshots of conversations that they have been having. I have no idea. I don't even know if they're referring to my YouTube videos with the screenshots of people talking about the hackings and cyberstalking and weird behavior from moderators. I don't know if they're referring to that or something else. Again, but those clearly were real people admitting that they had those issues. Let's see. Together, they are reaching out to as many community members as possible, many community members as they can, spreading lies and false information to hurt the girls. No, we are not reaching out to as many community members as possible. I reached out to the 5 or less, handful of people that I still spoke with, and I was just telling them, you might want to increase your cybersecurity measures. This is what's been going on. If you have listened to any previous podcast episodes or watched any of the Gang Stalking Chronicles videos, you will clearly see that moderator asked me not to share this information with anybody still in their community. Especially the first person that I told, the person who had another moderator following her on different social media accounts, from Twitch to Facebook. She asked me not to tell that person that I mentioned prior, who, this, moderator who we're talking about, the one who's the first one, probably the cyber criminal or cybercrime victim, because she wanted to leave. One of the reasons she wanted to leave was because she was witnessing and realizing all of this stuff. And she begs me. She's like, I'm not ready for other people to find out about this. If you look at those messages, you can clearly see her saying, I wasn't ready to come forward with this. I'm still dealing with this. Eventually, yeah, I did, but I don't want to, take anything away from members of that community. They come to this community and everything as a form of escapism. They have stressful jobs. They're dealing with lots of stress in their life. The world is stressful. I don't want to take that away from them. You clearly see her saying that. So to say that we're going to as many people as possible to spread lies and hurt the girls is completely false. And how would they even know that anyway? Unless there was some kind of like hacking, lurking, or cyberstalking involved. Again, I can count on one hand the names of the people I share this with, and this is just because I didn't want them to become victims of cyber crimes. We highly advise you to block these people, as many other people or many other community members already have. I don't know which community member she's referring to. I know I had previously blocked anybody I knew from that community. I went and unblocked a few after I started conversing with some members and whatnot and stuff, and they were like, okay, yeah, this person's okay, whatever. I don't see that I'm blocked. You can tell when someone blocks you. Don't ask me how I know that. But anyway, you can. But I clearly, I don't see that I'm blocked, and some of them are still following me, so again, whatever. The whole team is aware of what is going on, I bet, and we are trying to handle this as quietly as possible. Oh, I bet you want to handle it quietly, because if anything gets out, it'll be blown up that there's all this secrets and lies going on. Oh, this is causing stress to hurt the girls because blank was a trusted member of the group who chose to be angry and bitter and retaliate. Again, I don't understand. I mean, it was already explained why she was dealing with a lot of stuff. Her own health issues of family members relocating. There was a time difference. And again, it's just like she clearly asked me not. She did not. Like, I'm a woman enough to admit when I've made a mistake and when I could have been in the wrong. I will not lie or defend something that I later realized that could have been done differently just to make myself look better. That is how she wanted to handle it. She did not want me to tell anybody. And I'm not psychic, I'm not God, I can't say 100% that she hadn't told anybody. But I know that she asked me not to. Again, she was already dealing with like cyber stalking and whatnot, and things that she'd observed happening to other people that she was so weary of. She didn't want to bring any more attention to herself. She didn't want that smoke. And unfortunately, at this time, they were probably already slandering her name, but she definitely asked me not to tell anybody in the community. And again, I was not reaching as many people as possible. I reached out to maybe like the 4 or 5 people that I had still conversed with. People who were members of an additional Discord. The one that happened to be hacked, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see here. The whole team is aware of what is going on, of course. And we are trying to handle this as quietly as possible. Okay, I think I read that already. And then she, of course, asked for any information. I mean, this is just absurd. It's freaking goddamn ridiculous. They still never revealed how and why they know, are so confident that I was having this conversation with the person who shared this DM with me. Funny how they conveniently leave that out. They're not too specific about that. In fact, they're quite vague about a lot of things. Again, like the whole on forums pretending to be current and former mods. How can you even prove that? Like, let's say if you're on the front end, how can you prove that if there's no type of cybersecurity issue, if there's no hacking or stalking? How can you, a person who, apparently doesn't have any kind of IT forensic skills, allegedly, prove that anyone is going undercover pretending to be someone else? Like, just wondering. Again, just a question. Just wondering. Okay, number 1. Number 2, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say, yeah, it was us. The 2 of us were on this campaign and we were just going undercover. We were hitting up all the forums and message boards. How do you know it's us? I mean, I'm not going to ask for screenshots or whatever, and I'm sure most people wouldn't, but say that is true. How do you know it's us? How can you prove that? Clearly we're not going to use our names, and you didn't say. So again, it's just either way, there's all just kinds of shady behavior being admitted to. And I'm still trying to figure out how they know that the person who shared this DM with me, I was conversing with them. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm still just trying to figure that out. Like, how would a person who is not cyberstalking or hacking be able to know that? Like, I never told anybody that I specifically had this conversation with this person. This person never told any other people that we had this conversation. The moderator that contacts her doesn't say, thank you for bringing this, information to our attention or sharing these screenshots. So clearly we know. It's like, I mean, they don't even realize how much they're incriminating themselves and just revealing this sketchy pattern of behavior that they have normalized, invading other people's privacy online, on social media, and possibly otherwise. Again, just shooting themselves in the foot. The irony is the fact that this whole message is supposed to deny the claims that there is cyberstalking and hacking and any other cyber crimes going on, all the while admitting that there's at least cyberstalking going on. It's happening right now, like in real time, 3D. You know? Like, how do they know all this? So admitting to that while trying to not admit to it, like subconsciously admitting to it. And again, I just have to take this opportunity to apologize to the person, the former mod. Again, like I said, I'm woman enough to admit when I made a mistake and when I'm wrong, and she she wanted to handle the situation differently. I got very upset, very red-blooded, very hot-headed. I wanted to burn this MFer down. Like, I wanted to, like, set everything on fire. I really, like, not really, really, but in my heart, like, lower kind of vibrational me. You have your higher self, and then you have, like the id, the ego, the super ego. The id definitely wanted to put them on blast to everybody. Never did that. Never made any kind of Instagram story calling, them out specifically. Like, went and looked at all their followers and sent them stuff the way they're trying to make it. Like, that didn't happen. And again, I kind of wanted to do that, realized that wouldn't be the best way to go. But I did feel that the people who had cyber crimes committed against them should at least be made aware and be able to make a decision from there. So I was kind of like striking a balance. I'm like, okay, I have to at least tell the one person who definitely had a cybercrime committed against her. And again, remember, the other mod asked me not to. She did not want me to tell anybody. That's how she wanted to handle it. She wanted to handle it very, very quietly. Again, very respectfully, being respectful of the former freaking cult leaders as well as their community members who feel the community is, a safe haven for them, a decompress, a way to deal with the troubles and struggles of the world right now. We live in a very stressful world. Her whole thing is that she did not want to take that away from anybody. What she wanted to do it quietly and privately. Which again, that's definitely a very respectable approach. However, me, and not to say that she is right and I'm wrong, or that she was wrong and I'm right. We both could be right. We both could be wrong. But again, no one tells you this is how you deal with being a victim of a cybercrime. So she chose to deal with it that way. And again, I didn't tell everybody, but I have to be honest. She asked me not to tell anybody. And she asked me that before I realized that I was being targeted. And I came right out to her and I told her, I said, look, it was one thing before they started targeting me. It became quite another ballgame when they started targeting me. For what reason, I have no idea. Now I could see, but before I started a YouTube channel or podcast, what did they have against me? Like, what reason? And again, the fact that they even know that I did that is just whatever, it speaks for itself. But I do have to say that she wanted me not to do that, and I can't stress that enough. She did not want to wreak havoc within their community. It's already dysfunctional enough as it is, and she cares about the friendships and connections she's made. And I do thank the person who shared these DMs with me as well. I appreciate them for doing that, realizing like something's awry, like this isn't right, you know. So I have to thank those two people. And just again, it's still shocking, like people that you've admired and respected for so long and put on such a pedestal. Like I'm almost embarrassed for them. I'm like, how can you act like this? Like this is, but again, you never really know someone. You never know someone, and on the internet, people only reveal so much. They usually reveal only what they want to reveal. They reveal to you what they want you to know. So yeah, it's still shocking though. Being as how I only gave approximately 5 people, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, 4 to 5 people, a heads up that people within the community were experiencing these cybersecurity issues. And I never point blank flat out said we are all definitely being hacked by them and their moderating team. I said the likelihood is very low that we all have the common denominator of knowing the same people and we're all experiencing the same cybersecurity issues. Okay. One of two things likely happened. Either those 5 people, or at least one of those people, went to a moderator of them and sent screenshots, which I, wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of like the culture there, sending screenshots and sharing screenshots, trying to whatever. Or someone, probably one of the moderators or maybe all of them, who knows, went and looked at my friends list or followers or whatever on Instagram, saw them and just reached out to those people. Either of those scenarios are equally creepy and invasive, but any of them could have happened dealing with this community. And again, why people such as myself wanted to leave. So here's what I'm betting happened. Here is what I'm truly thinking happened. Putting the pieces together of all the intel that I've gotten up to this point so far. I feel like due to the paranoia of wanting to remain anonymous, not being outed, I feel like a person or people who know them or knew them previously or prior, who had personal private information about them, I believe that another person put a bug in their ear saying that they would be bad news because if anything were to happen, like if there was to be like an argument or what have you, that is something they could hold over their heads. I feel like that is very, very likely. It's very feasible that that could have happened. I feel like it's possible that that person might have even possibly been paid off. I truly do not believe that they were blackmailed or doxxed because the behavior that they've exhibited afterwards, I've had a few other people even kind of notice and comment on the fact that they were so quick to return to social media after that, which most people who truly are blackmailed and doxxed, they want no parts of social media, at least not for less than like a month. You know what I mean? Again, we all handle challenges and traumas differently, but, just observing, just saying. And again, I'm not saying anything happened for certain 100%. I'm not God. I don't know that, I'm not psychic. I'm just saying that's the inkling that I get. Again, because of the whole kind of the fear and anxiety of being outed and, wanting to remain anonymous. I feel that's the driving force of a lot of everything that's going on. It's like the center of the dysfunction of this entire community. I really, really do. And there's not much anyone could tell me to convince me otherwise. Now, am I saying I'm 100% correct? Of course not. I definitely could be wrong, but I do know that this is a community built on a foundation of lies and secrets and dishonesty. And I'm definitely more likely to believe other people who have experiences they've shared with me that are being corroborated than people who've been proven to be dishonest and have lied on me, amongst other things. If I go to a party or I go to a club and somebody walks in saying, there's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house, am I going to get offended? No, because I'm not a hoe. Okay? One of my favorite Southern sayings is a hit dog will holler. So what if someone's following narcissistic accounts? They want to educate themselves about being a narcissist. I mean, these people are so self-centered. Either one, it was a guilty conscience, or two, it was a guilty conscience because, again, anybody could be dealing with a narcissist. A supervisor, significant other, friend, roommate, whatever. So the fact that someone would automatically assume someone following a narcissistic and or creating an account educating about narcissism and support for other people out there in similar situations, the fact that someone would think, oh yeah, directed towards so-and-so is a red flag. I mean, either you're a narcissist or, yeah, there's a reason for people to view you as one, number one. Number two, me personally, again, none of my podcast episodes or YouTube videos do I mention these people by name. I don't mention, their community members by name. And if I'm spreading lies and lying so much, then how is it that it can be gathered from my information and my podcasts and my videos that it's about you all? And if you're not cyber stalking, at the minimum, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt there and say it's just cyber stalking. If you're not cyber stalking, how do you even know about my YouTube videos? I shared one that expressed the hacking concerns. I shared that with the same 4 people that I was warning about increasing their cybersecurity measures. Never shared it with a mod, anybody else. 4 people. So either one or more of those people shared it with them. If not, they're definitely seeking me out. And again, the specifics and information that they know that wasn't even covered, in anything that I've said. I mean, they can speak so definitively. I can't speak definitively. I can't say for certain I know this or that. I can say in my heart I believe it, that there's evidence that proves this, but I can't speak definitively. You know why? Because I'm not cyber stalking on people. I'm not harassing people. I'm not following them around. I'm not hacking people. I have no reason to. And technically, you have no reason to either, but yet you still feel the need to do so. It's beyond hypocritical, and it becomes more clear now, the truth about what's really going on. Again, one of the biggest mysteries to a lot of people was why the rush to return back to social media. Well, now we know. Now we know. Question answered.